Hello everyone! In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Samina Pasha to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Samina Pasha's words. Since the announcement of the arrival of Imran Khan's sons in Pakistan, various reactions have been ongoing. Along with this, interesting kinds of analysis have also begun. I will keep you informed about that as well. The Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has decided to call an all-parties conference, or APC. I will also share the objectives of this decision with you. It rained a lot in Lahore today, and I will share the situation afterward with you. Alongside this today, once again, Miss Fatima Jinnah is being widely discussed, and I will explain the reason for that too. I request you to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Now, speaking of the channel, I would like to request once again that all of you who support independent journalists and those who speak the truth continue to support them. Personally, I'm also considering creating another YouTube channel to connect with you all. And the content on that channel will be a bit different. The current affairs of routine matters will be shared on this channel, but on the new channel, I will share different kinds of content. Please feel free to suggest what kind of content you would like to see or hear. This will be another medium of connection, and I will soon share the link and details of that backup channel once a few things are refined and lined up. Now let's talk about YouTube channels. Mr. Dalal Chowdhury's statement is being widely discussed today. Mr. Dalal Chowdhury, the Federal Minister for Interior Affairs, stated that most of the people whose YouTube channels have been shut down are fugitives. And when the PMLN calls someone a fugitive, it is quite amusing because their history is such that they've dealt with Musharraf at one time, with Bajwa at another, and with others at different times. When you yourself make deals and leave the country voluntarily, calling others fugitives doesn't seem right. Other people may have left due to personal safety, their livelihood, or because of their families, but you made compromises with principles and left afterward. So anyway, he says that most of these people are fugitives, and he also claims that these people, sitting abroad, tried to spread unrest within Pakistan, spread fake news, and defamed Pakistan's institutions, which led to the shutdown of their YouTube channels. He believes it was a correct decision and that further criminal actions should be taken against them. This entire conversation serves as a reflection for those who still think that there are democratic traditions left in the PMLN. We have been saying for a long time now that their true nature would soon be exposed, and it is becoming clearer with each passing day. The slogans they raised about respecting the vote and the oaths of democracy are now exposed for what they truly are. These facts are now clearly visible to everyone. The point I'm making here is that many of their own people are now speaking out, criticizing the decision, saying it is wrong because the other party's views were never even heard. They were denied the opportunity to voice their perspective, and unilateral action was taken. Legally, this is a very significant issue. Secondly, they are claiming that they have decided that the material shared by these YouTubers was against the state, but they never gave anyone a chance to speak. And thirdly, they claim they will take criminal action against them. Again, criminal action would be possible only if those individuals were present in the country. But most of them aren't even here. What will be interesting to see is how the PMLN, which once praised Matullah as a courageous journalist, now tries to label him as an enemy of the state. This will be intriguing to watch. We had an idea of who these people were, but now they are exposing themselves. It will be interesting to see how those voices that once praised them are now turning against them. The opposition voices that they once considered legitimate, they now consider to be against the state. The real issue here is that they do not tolerate opposing voices. They want the entire nation to think in one line, and that line is the one they dictate. It is true that the majority of the nation is thinking in one line, but it is not the line they want. The line the people want is that the country should be governed according to the Constitution, that the judiciary should be independent, democracy should be strengthened, and the country should have free, fair and transparent elections. The line the people are standing on is that human rights violations and injustices must end. The opposition now thinks that if everyone else starts thinking like them, everything will be fine. However, the truth is that the nation is united and moving forward on a different path. The voices that are supporting a free and fair election and the protection of human rights are the ones that matter now. So keep in mind the statements and discussions of Dalal Chowdhury and others. I don't think there's much delay left for these statements to be exposed for what they are. In the future, these statements will not have any defense, and it will be evident who was in the right. On another note, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government has decided to call an all-parties conference due to the ongoing situation in North Waziristan. The local people there do not want military operations, and protests have been ongoing for the past week. Large numbers of people have been marching and demonstrating, and there were even reports that curfew-like conditions were imposed, advising people not to go out for their daily matters. The situation there is quite tense, and the local people are not supporting the operations. In response, the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government decided to call an all-parties conference. This was not the first time such an event was organised, but the real question is whether the federal government and the establishment will respect the consensus reached during this conference. Will they consider the local people's opinions and the stance of the representatives, or will they continue to implement decisions unilaterally? This is a key issue because previously agreements were made in similar settings, but if those agreements are not followed, the whole effort becomes futile. We also see that the KP government often adopts a weak stance and seems to compromise. And many things that Imran Khan has called for, like stopping drone attacks and filing furs against certain individuals, are still pending. There are many criticisms from even members of their own party regarding transfers and postings. It feels as though the provincial government clearly doesn't have a strong grip, especially in that particular region, which, on paper, is under their jurisdiction. But it seems that it is not in their control, so all these things are quite complicated. Let's see where this goes in terms of the KP government's stance and the outcome of the all-parties conference. An interesting piece of news has come from Khyber Pakhtunkhwa today. Sama Bilur Harun Sahiba, who was a prominent ANP or Awami National Party leader, met with Shahbaz Sharif today and officially joined the PMLN, which is the Pakistan Muslim League, Nawaz. There was also an announcement that her name has been nominated for a specific seat, which according to an unconstitutional decision has been given to people like her. This is quite an interesting development because the way the ANP is losing ground, as you can see, and the fact that someone who was once a part of the ANP is now joining PMLN, well, it really raises questions. People sometimes do change parties based on perspectives, and if they find their views aligned with another party, it is their right to join that party. However, when immediately after the announcement, it is clear that the seat they got was tied to PMLN's benefits, it doesn't seem like a genuine ideological change, but rather an opportunistic move to gain a National Assembly seat. In any case, this is the politics of today, where people are looking at who has power and what benefits can be gained. Take Mubarak Zaid, for instance. Look at how people from PMLA have been accommodated, as well as the defectors from PTI, who now are demanding ministries, arguing that their services during the 26th Amendment should be rewarded with adjustment. This situation is a clear indication that people everywhere, in exchange for something, are willing to be part of any party. Now, a specific seat was gained, and they joined PMLN because of the perceived benefits. Ultimately, whether in PMLN or ANP, both parties currently seem to be in the same situation. I don't see much difference in their popularity or their perspective. Although the ANP has a history of struggle, they had a perspective, and for some time they were moving forward with that. But the way things have evolved, it has become just another common party, not much different from MQM or any other party. Regarding perspectives, I was reminded that today is the anniversary of Fatima Jinnah. Fatima Jinnah, the sister of Quaid Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, stood by her brother in his struggle for the creation of Pakistan. I was deeply struck by the thought that who were those people who would oppose Fatima Jinnah and instead support other generals and their people, claiming that she was wrong and questioning her struggle. I wonder what kind of people those might be. Even now I think about the many such people we encounter today, where it seems that no matter what's happening with the public or the constitution, people still believe they need to side with the powerful. Even today, we see that people don't stand with those who are suffering, the political figures who are suffering, but instead join the side where they feel they will get their own benefit. Such people existed back then as well, and such people still exist now. For them, it doesn't matter who they are standing next to or what their struggle is, as long as their personal interests are met. Now, how many people, institutions, judges, bureaucrats, politicians, or media people are involved in keeping this regime in power in Pakistan? Clearly, these are the same people who are still managing the system in some way. So, such people have always existed. And for these people, it doesn't matter who is in power, as long as they get what they want. Lastly, may Allah forgive Fatima Jinnah today on her anniversary. Regarding the weather update, there has been heavy rain in Lahore today, causing widespread flooding. The streets are looking like rivers, and even major roads have pools of standing water. People often use such events politically, making it a point of criticism. We have seen similar situations in the past as well. Whenever it rains and water stands on streets, political opponents use it as a sign of inefficiency. However, the infrastructure in Punjab, especially in Lahore, is generally much better than in other provinces like Sindh or Balochistan. Punjab has most of Pakistan's resources, which is why the infrastructure here tends to be more developed. But despite the better infrastructure, we still see these waterlogging problems, and they do raise concerns. Yet it's also true that after heavy rainfall, the water clears up within a few hours. The criticism surrounding Maryam Nawaz isn't just about the standing water, it's the way she handles these issues. Whenever she's involved, it's more about photo opportunities, where she makes exaggerated claims about fixing things. After a few hours of rain, she claims that she has solved the entire issue. But the reality is, despite these photo ops, the work done is often subpar, and the roads built are poorly constructed, leading to damage after a short period. Criticism arises because, despite all the promises, the quality of work and the results don't match. But overall, such things happen in every government, regardless of which party is in charge. There are people who use these situations to their advantage, and that's something we have seen repeatedly in Pakistan. That wraps up our translation of Samina Pasha's video. I hope this English version helped you understand her message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.